What's up, YouTube? It's your boy Saahdiq405 coming at you. It's on the Warpath, y'all. And if you haven't already, make sure you click like on the video and subscribe if you haven't already, and hit that bell so you get our notifications when we have a new video. But this video today is about the rest of day 3 on Saturday of the NFL draft. The Redskins added 6 players. We talked about Saahdiq Charles on Saturday and the Trent Williams trade, but we got 5 other guys that were drafted by the Burgundy and Gold. The first one that I love the most, AGG Antonio Gandy-Golden, the wide receiver. He's 6'4", 220 pounds on the scale, from Liberty. The former Flame had 3 1,000-yard seasons. In those 3 seasons, he amassed 29 touchdown receptions, 10 in his sophomore, 10 in his junior year, 9 last year as a senior. He broke a school record his junior year at New Mexico, had 245 yards receiving. The dude's big. He's huge. He can catch the big ball. He's got that range, y'all. He can get the 50-50 ball. So add competition there. He's a deep threat. He's got a little bit of agility on him. Not the fastest. That was a knock on him. He didn't have the best combine. He ran a 4.640. But heck, it's the combine. So you never know until you get out there in live action. He can get some yards. He's got some good yak as well. The yards after the catch. He had a little bit of a drop issue his junior year, but it seems like he corrected it before the season. So I like this guy. I like the ability. He can be that red zone threat. You get in the 20, you can throw it up, hopefully do something that we have not seen. It seems like we're always wasting picks on these big threats that are big flops. You think of Malcolm Kelly back in the 08. You think of Josh Doxson a few years ago. Scrubs. That could not do anything in the red zone. We need this target. You know, we've got Kelvin Harmon, who might pan out there, and now we've got AGG. Maybe they can push each other, grow in those roles, so then we'll have 2 big targets. Ain't nobody going to be wanting to wrestle with our fellas down there in the red zone, y'all. Come on now. Come on, somebody give me an amen. I got one. I know I hear another one out there, right? But anyway, I like this guy. He's drawing comparisons to Cody Latimer, who's on the team. So that might not spell the best for Mr. Latimer right now. Alan Lazard, who came on a little bit in Green Bay this past year. And then probably the most prominent name, Devontae Parker. He's got those sizes, so we'll see. I've seen in some of the message board, well, these aren't really Pro Bowl talents, blah, blah, blah. I don't really care if we have Pro Bowl talents or not. You just got to be able to score. I need yardage to get us in the range. I don't care if you have 1,500 yards and you only got 3 touchdowns. That don't mean so. I want to see the touchdowns more than anything. It's nice to get those yards, but we need the red zone threat. That's where the Redskins need to strengthen up at, is in the red zone. And maybe make those catches on 3rd down. Maybe he can do this. He can add that added threat. So the Redskins stuck on offense. They received the 156th pick from San Francisco in the 5th round. And they took a center out of San Diego State, Keish Ismael, 6'3", 309. He can play all 3 interior positions. So, seen a theme here. We saw with Antonio Gibson. He can play running back. He can play wide receiver. He just wants to be called a weapon. But Ismael can do those things. He can come and fill in. I know a lot of people are like, hey, what we need a center for? We got Roulier. We got Pierce Barker. But you need somebody who can do so many different things. We did have Bergstrom last year, and maybe he can add to that. Probably the most popular name is Frank Ragnow, who is a center/left guard for the Detroit Lions. He was a first-team Mountain West Conference player the last 2 years. He was second team in 17, so he's got 3 years of starting abilities for the Aztec under him, so he knows how to play there. He's quick. He's a little agile. He's got good lateral moves, so he can move left to right, left, right. I don't know if I'm doing it in the right direction. That's all right, though. And he's strong in the run game. Couple of knocks on him, though, is he's stubby. So it looks like me, right? I'm kind of stubby. But for his size, and then he also had maybe off-season shoulder surgery. I don't know if it was this past year or in between his junior and senior campaign. And then another issue, he does let go off the blocks a little bit on the back end with the play action. That was one of the knocks on him. But I thought this was an interesting pick. Wasn't my favorite pick. At the point I told Amir, and I told JD as well, I said maybe this is something it's a guy that can do two things. JD wasn't too happy about it. Amir wasn't. We both were like WTF, but hey, you can always use some adage on that offensive line. Probably could have went with another tackle, but it is what it is. I like the versatility there of Ismael. And then 6 picks later, the Redskins went with a product out of Michigan, Khaleke Hudson. He's a linebacker / safety, 6 feet 220, and he's flexible. He is a flexible guy. He can match up in multiple packages on defense. So if you on your defense, so if you got to go in the nickel, he played a little bit of edge rusher there. So he's done a lot for Michigan in that defense. He can be your nickel safety, and he was a special teamer. Big thing. This is what I love. I think it was. They say this might have been the biggest reach for the Redskins because a couple of places, I think Bleacher Report and NFL.com had him as a free agent pickup, but special teams is 33% of the game, right? So you got to get somebody who's going to play special teams pretty well. This kid can offer it. He had 7 block punts at Michigan. Those are game changers. You think about it. You go back to when the Redskins played the Giants and we had that block punt, and it turned back into a ball game. Because you're going to get the ball in your opponent's territory, most likely, if you're blocking a punt. So I liked that pick from that in that respect. And like I said, versatility's there too. It seemed like he peaked a little bit because 2017 was his best season. He had 17 and a half tackles for loss. He had 8 sacks, but then he kind of flatlined there. Can't really shed the blocks, and he does miss tackles the more he is in the game. That's according to the scouting reports put together from NFL.com and Bleacher Report. And then this one probably is the funniest pick, and I'll say it because there's a story with it. The Redskins didn't have a pick in the 6th round, so in the 7th round, we went safety, Kamren Curl. I'm going to call him Carl multiple times, so I apologize for that. Y'all can correct me in the comments later. 6'1", 206 in Arkansas. He had some nice plays. He had some breakups. He led the Razorbacks in breakups last year. He was a 3-year starter. He was a junior, which kind of shocked people, him coming out for the draft, so he could have probably improved his stock if he went back down there to Fayetteville again this season. But that's all right, though. He's known as a box safety. He has nice size where he can compare up with a tight end in coverage, and he's physical nastiness. He's got it there. But a couple knocks on him was he was a 3-year starter, but he only managed 2 interceptions in 3 years, and his tackling can be refined. He is known more of as a hitter than he is a tackler, and those are 2 different things, right? So it's basically like your old adage: are you a thrower of football, or are you a passer? He does draw comparisons to Trey Boston, so somebody who has the same capabilities of someone who was in Ron Rivera's system in Carolina. And I this is a good pick. Maybe he can make his way through on special teams as well. It'll add some competition in that safety room. Well, depending on who he'll push there. And he can learn from Landon Collins as well as being that quote-unquote box safety. The last pick, And also going back to Curl was actually suspended for taking pictures, and they reported flirting with Mississippi State, the dance team or the cheerleaders or whatever. Well, I can't blame the brother. If you got it, you got it, right? So I ain't got too much of a problem with that. Whatever, they suspended him for a game. Him and a teammate, they got in a little bit of trouble. But college kids, they gonna do that stuff. Let it go and move on. Be about the business, right? But I do think this was after they got their tails kicked. Or no, it was before the game. Double check me on that. I think it may have been before they got their tails kicked against Mississippi State. But either or, that's in the past. Move on, and we can curl up and have our safety now, right? Last pick was at 229. James Smith-Williams. He is a edge rusher from NC State. The biggest thing about him was that he went from 196 pounds to 260 throughout his career at NC State. He's good against the run. He was a team captain, but he is injury prone. He played, 7 games in 2019, and he missed 15 and 16 with season-ending injuries. So this, and he does have a career outside of that. He was on the robotics team, so he's pretty sharp. Don't really know if he would make the roster, but I think it's interesting in the fact that he's a physical specimen in the game to work in the workout room, and they say he's probably tapped out as far as strength goes, so there's no room for development there. I guess so. If you don't have the ability to develop, I guess that's a weakness in that regard. But interesting pick there from the Wolfpack, and he hasn't really managed that many sacks. Didn't have I think maybe one the previous year. So it was an interesting day 3. The Redskins, and then of course the big news, we got some undrafted free agents as well, adding Thaddeus Moss notably. And he is the son of Randy Moss, who is the Hall of Fame wide receiver, and we did need help at the tight end spot, so it's good to get that there. Johnathon Johnson, Isaiah Wright, Steven Montez. Wright and Johnson are wide receivers, and then Steven Montez is a quarterback from Colorado Mobile's got a nice arm, but was 5-7 in his starting time. Each one of his seasons, they didn't really have a winning record at Colorado. So, we'll see. Maybe he's a camp arm. The only time will tell there. But other than that, I think the Redskins had a decent draft. We'll go into this a little bit more once we can get Amir on here with us. But I've been giving out grades. I gave it a B because I always think there's room, quote, for development, like with the James Smith-Williams thing. You always got to have room for development, right? I like it for what we got. Could we have done more? Absolutely. You can always do more in the draft. I don't understand the hate for the Antonio Gibson pick, but like I said, we're going to tell a little bit more, like I said, and then I'll go into more about why I don't like to give grades. But other than that, tell me what you think about day 3. Did you like what we got? Could we have done more? What do you think about these undrafted free agents? I think there are more to come, but these were the only ones that I could find at the time. But like I said, check us out. Let us know. Comment and subscribe. As always, we do appreciate you here on the Warpath. We love you guys. Thank you for the support. It seems like we're growing every day. We're approaching 600 subscribers. Trying to get to 1,000 so we can take y'all out on the road with us and be live a little bit more through this platform. But as always, love, peace, and hail. I'm saying Charles 405, and I'll be talking to y'all real soon. I'm out. Have a good one.